If I'm wrong, I'm going to say it. I'm going to open up to it. I'm not going to try and shy away from it. I'm not going to try and tuck it under the rug. I'm going to bring it up so that we can all grow together, right? At the end of the day, when I make mistakes, I can bring it to you guys and we can all learn together. And then if you make a mistake, you can also bring it in the comment section and everybody can learn together. So I've made a pretty big mistake recently, and I just want to... I had a bit of a light bulb moment a couple days ago, and I want to talk about it so we can all talk about this subject and really grow from it. Okay, so this is a Destined Rivals booster box. Now, I have 6 of these. I absolutely slayed the competition recently. Holy moly, there were so many local stores that restocked booster boxes, man. I got these for like $200 each. I'm absolutely over the moon. But basically, I got these and I had a bit of a revelation where I realized that if I sold them, I would actually buy them back later in a couple years. And this is what's my logic, right? So I just want to first be clear how I was wrong. So I would preach that I believe people should sell their Destined Rivals now, sell their Surging Sparks now, and buy 151. And the reason is so that they can time the market and, you know, maximize their gains, because 151 is about to shoot up. I've had a bit of a revelation and I've changed my mind on that. And I'll tell you why. Because with 151, if you bought it when it came out, you could have bought bundles for $25 each. You could have bought ETBs for $60 each. But the problem is that there's so much risk to waiting. Now, yes, at the end of the day, if you do wait, like if you buy 151 right now, you're going to do absolutely phenomenal for yourself. But think about it. My entry on 151 now is double the MSRP. Meaning that when I bought 151, like when it firstly came out and I flipped it and made, I don't know, $10 a bundle, instead, if I actually just doubled down, if I just bought that, I would be laughing. Now, we're in a different era right now. We're in an era where, you know, stuff isn't really at MSRP and it's quite difficult to get stuff at MSRP. So this is what I've been preaching lately. I would say to people, if you have a Destined Rivals booster box, well, not for Destined Rivals, but I said it's for Prismatic, right? I said, if you get Prismatic, I don't know, let's just say ETBs, I used to say, hey, I think you should sell it, and I think you should buy it back later. And it's not bad advice, like, genuinely, it wasn't horrible advice. I'm not just going to say that, like, my old self was an idiot. Like, it's not bad advice. But I've come to a bit of a realization that, here's the thing, if you're going to buy back the identical product... So I just want to explain my thought process. My thought process was so that you could get that money and then invest it elsewhere and turn it into more money. So let's just say this, right? You buy Prismatic, I don't know, SPC for $150. You flip it for $250, then you invest that $250 in 151, double your money, put it back in Prismatic, and then you're laughing, right? Now, on paper, it's pretty smart. Like, on paper, it works. But there's just a slight problem. The problem is that, first of all, you're not going to get it right every single time, and you don't want to get cooked. You can't risk getting cooked, right? But also, the problem is that if you are buying Prismatic at a double entry, like let's just say you sold an SPC for $250, you double your money on 151, but by the time you've doubled your money on 151, say Prismatic SPCs have doubled in price, well, if you go back, all you're doing is just moving funds around. You're not actually doing anything, right? Because yes, you double your money, but then the product you're buying back to invest in has also doubled. So you're in this gray area where you're actually playing a very risky game, jumping from item to item. So I want to use Destined Rivals booster boxes as an example. We all know this is a fantastic set, and I think now that it's going up, people realize, like, yeah, this is actually a really, really good set, and it's going to do really, really freaking well. So the thing is, if you were to sell booster boxes now, you're going to have to buy back later at a price, and more than likely it's going to be higher than the price is now. So it's like you're going to have to sell it, quickly turn that money into more money before it goes up, and then you quickly buy back, and all just to make like an extra, what, $50 per box. Now this is where I've had a bit of a revelation in a sense, right? So here's what I've realized. If you caught every single restock, or even 50% of the restocks, from now to when Destined Rivals is finished, you're going to have 100 booster boxes, all at retail, right? You're going to have all of them at retail. And like, dude, Prismatic is a great example. So I currently have, 11 Prismatic ETBs? Yeah, number one hater of Prismatic ETBs. I mean, To be fair, I did get them at retail, so it's a bit different. I was saying you shouldn't buy them on the secondary market because they're overpriced, and yeah, they have dipped in price, so technically, yeah, I was right. You shouldn't have bought them. Now's the time to buy them because they're pretty much at an all-time low. But anyways, my point is, if I sell those Elite Trainer boxes now to buy them back later, what, dude, are they really going to go much cheaper? So, like, it's like I'm almost racing, trying to outperform Prismatic's growth. And it's a very risky game to play. So you need to think to yourself as well, there's going to be so many drops from now till Prismatic is over. So at the end of the day, if you just capture every single drop, mate, like, okay, let's just say you're watching this video, right? I don't know. Let's just say you have a full-time job and you want to invest $500 a month in Pokemon. I was about to say a week. Holy crap. Oh, a month. Let's just say you want to invest $500, right? Okay, cool. So you catch a couple of restocks and that's your investing done. Boom. You've hit your quota. You move on with your life and you run off into the sunset, right? Now let's just say, I don't know, someone like me, let's just say I want to invest, let's just say in the next 2 years' time, I want to have, I don't know, 30, 40k of Prismatic, right? Then I could either do two things. I could do nothing for 2 years and the Justice is about to go out of rotation, then I just buy it up on the secondary market for however much it is, and then it still goes up and I still make money. Or I can play it the smart way and every single restock that there is, I can capture that restock and I'll actually get a way better entry. Now, when you get a way better entry, you have to lock away funds sooner. Like, I have to lock away those funds now. But the benefit is that I get more items. You want to know why? Let's just say I'm investing $10,000. I invest $10,000 and let's just say, ETBs is, let's just say $100, right? So in 2 years' time, I have to buy ETBs for $100. So 100 times 10,000 is I get 100 ETBs, right? Now, let's look at if I were to buy them at retail from now till it goes out of rotation, right? Retail is about $60 in ETB. So what's that? It's like an extra, 40 ETBs, something like that, right? If my math is correct, an extra 40 ETBs. But the benefit is that in the next 2 years, I'm still in the same position. The only difference, there's one pro and there's one con. The pro is I got a way better of a cheaper entry, meaning I got to buy more units at the same price. And then the con is that I have to lock away the funds for 2 years with no growth. But I've come to a revelation, I think it's actually worth it. So this was always my debate where I was thinking like, oh, is it worth like buying the overinflated price? And I always said like, look, at the end of the day with 151, I said, at the end of the day, I was saying to myself, I was like, look, I feel bad for people who bought booster bundles, you know, poster collections, Alakazam. I was saying that I felt bad for people who bought that at release because they would be holding for 2 years and all they would see is a 2x gain when other stuff has done all these like miraculous gains. But you know what I was doing? I was cherry picking because then you look at stuff like ETBs and it's like, oh, what about the people who held ETBs? Like, I just want to remind you guys, when 151 came out, I bought 40 151 ETBs. I bought 4 sealed cases. Sealed cases now, I don't even want to check the price. I don't even want to think about it, right? Like, it sucks, right? I missed out on like lots and lots of money by selling it, but I thought I was a genius because I was like, I'm a genius. I'm going to sell this. So I've made a $300 gain per case. I'm going to sell them and I'm going to buy it back in 2 years. How'd that work out for me, right? So in this 2-year time frame, I'm able to learn a very valuable lesson. And that valuable lesson is that if you secure it at retail, I would say just hold on to it. Now, I want to be clear. It's for premium items, okay? It's for booster boxes. It's for ETBs. It's for UPCs. We're not talking about poster collections. We're not talking about Alakazam. If you have poster collections of Prismatic, I would still say dump it. If you have blisters, I would say dump it. Destined Rivals, here. You want a rough guide? Okay, for main sets, if it's anything but booster boxes, dump it immediately. You're wasting energy holding on to it because that is going to do barely any gains for the next couple of years. The difference is booster boxes actually don't catch a lot of reprints near the end of it. Booster boxes are very spontaneous, right? You can't really predict it. Now, the thing about like holiday sets is, dude, even if like prismatic poster collections get short printed, how much of a gain is it realistically going to make? The thing is, ETBs, we know in the long term ETBs are going to perform well. UPCs, we know in the long term UPCs are going to perform well. Oh, my mistake. SPCs, we know they're going to perform well. We know all of these are going to do really well. So you're kind of just getting a bit risky by, selling it and buying it back later and doing this and this. Now, I will say the one exception is when the market is oversaturated. When prismatic cases were selling, like ETB cases were selling for like, what, 1,500? It was ridiculous. Like, because I just want to be clear, if anyone who's new to the channel, I'm in Australia, so I'm converting to USD pricing because most of my viewers measure in like per square meter of hot dogs and barbecue sauce and Eagles in stadiums. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's my best American impression. I bet a bunch of Americans just cringed, but anyways, sorry guys. Thanks for watching my videos. Anyways, my whole point is that I pre-ordered 100 ETBs, and I actually sold those for a ridiculous profit. It was so stupid. But that was smart in my opinion. And you know why it was smart? Because it didn't make sense it was going to hold its price when the whole June and July restock happened with Prismatic. Now, I think that was a very good calculated decision. Like, props to me. And I did well. I sold my cases, and I can actually buy back those cases right now if I'd like. Another, like, what, $400 to $500 cheaper each in USD pricing. So I can save, like, that's a pretty fair amount. That's like 4K saved that I can do just by timing the market. Now, that was more or less obvious because the market was oversaturated and yada, yada, yada. We all get the story. My whole point is that now we're in this phase where it's like, dude, is it even worth selling such a good item? Like, let's be real for a second. We all know Desmorale's booster boxes are going to be $1,000 booster boxes. Okay, obviously it's going to be a $1,000 booster box, but like, 4 years from now, surely it will be. Like, I'm pretty sure it will be. And the reason is because it's just such a good set. I mean, dude, this front artwork is so good. It's a little bit plain. I really would have preferred if there was a little bit more going on. Honestly, though, it's actually pretty solid. Like, really could have done with more. But it's solid there. On the sides, it's so solid. It's such a good box. Such a good display. It's got Mewtwo and Giovanni on the front. Mewtwo and Giovanni is always a safe bet. Once again, yes, it's a little plain, but at the same time, it's a pretty safe bet. Oh, like, why try to time the market, right? So, yeah, that is my new strategy. Whenever it comes to this, I'm going to secure as many restocks as humanly possible. I will try to, every single time there is a Costco drop, every single time there's an EB Games, Kmart, anytime there's any drop. Now, that being said, I'm not going to drive an hour to buy one bundle at MSRP. I'm not going to do that. If I can't match literally minimum wage, and that's counting fuel, that's counting, time and all that, it's not worth it. Like, if you line up for 2 hours and you get an SPC, like, that's great, right? But then if you're lining up for like 20 hours, like some people did on release, that's not smart. Now, you might be asking yourself, how do you get restocks? Now, there's tons of different ways you can get restocks. The old method used to be cold calling stores, saying like, hey, how you doing? Do you guys have any, I don't know, whatever in stock, right? Now, the employees back then would actually be helpful, and they would say, yeah, we have, I don't know, this much, or we're getting it in this date, right? Like, they'd give you dates. Now, I don't blame the employees, but they just basically say, we don't know, which is not really true because, like, 6 months ago, they were able to track, like, the date that it would arrive. But they just do that because they get, like, 20 calls a day, which is honestly fair enough. I don't blame them. So the new updated method in order to track when stores will get restocks is by just Discord notifications. And now, this is an Australian-only Discord server, so if you're not in Australia, I'd recommend just skip past this part of the video. But basically, this Discord server, which is called TCG Notify, they are a fantastic Discord server. So first of all, it's only $12 a month, which is pretty fair. And if you use my code, which is Samboy50, you get 50% off your first month. So you save $6, so it goes from $12 to $6, which is honestly very solid. Now, I would never advertise a product that I don't personally use. I use this product every single day. It is so good. The amount of restocks I've gotten is not even funny. Now, sometimes you may think to yourself, like, look, man, honestly, I just want to invest a couple $100. EB Games, they do certain drops. They do blog posts whenever they release products, like they give you notice. Dude, sometimes they release products early. Like, it's so spontaneous. And, I mean, there's been plenty of times where figure collections is a great example. They release figure collections like 2 hours early. If you didn't get notifications, you would have missed out. And here's the beauty of it. I don't support scalping, but I'm also not against it. I've said this multiple times in my videos. I don't care what you do with your product. I genuinely doesn't bother me, doesn't disturb me, doesn't hurt me in any way. I don't care. But if you were to resell that one figure collection that you got from the pings, you would have made back like a year worth of subscriptions. So I would highly recommend you join. If you want to get in-store alerts, you can get in-store alerts. If you want to get online alerts, you can get online alerts. If you want both, you can get both. Like, it just works. And they've got state by state. So like if you're in Queensland, you can get strictly Queensland pings, which is so good. So I would highly, highly recommend you join it. Please use my code. If you do join it, I do get a little kickback from it, which is pretty sweet. But honestly, if I were you, even if you don't want to join a Discord server, if I were you, I would honestly just start buying up off of scalpers. Like, actually, this is something I know a lot of people do, is they actually just buy off of scalpers. A great example is this Costco bundle, right? So it was a Costco bundle where you got one booster bundle and one elite trainer box. So I've already broken up all of mine, so I don't have like a complete bundle, but that was what the bundle was. And basically what scalpers would do is they'd buy it for $100 AUD, which is about the 70 USD range, right? So what they would do is they'd buy it and they'd resell it. Now, what a lot of people have done is they've actually made posts out saying, hey, if you've bought this and you intend to resell it, I'll actually buy it off of you for double the price that you paid. This is like a really solid method in order to get really, really large positions in Prismatic. I mean, you got to think for a second. I got like 10 ETBs, right? Now, realistically, by the whole life cycle of Prismatic, I'll have probably hundreds of ETBs. Unless I short print it like they do with 151. But my 151 didn't even get one restock. This has already gone on like 3, so honestly, I don't think they're going that route. So if you bought these because you were intending they were going to get short printed, I don't know, man. They've already done like 3 restocks of this. They're probably just going to keep printing into the oblivion. But anyways, my point is that if you don't want to bother getting restocks and you don't want to hunt to get retail, my best suggestion would be form relationships with people who scalp. Don't make petty posts hating on scalpers. Like, realistically, if you're watching this video, you do want to make money from Pokemon in some sort of way, right? So if you can't beat him, you might as well join him. So if you can't beat them by, I don't know, getting to the store first, because they camp stores, then my best suggestion would just be buy it off them. You know why? Because a lot of them are happy to do 80% or 70% of market price just to get it off their hands immediately. If a scalper just bought 10 SPCs and the market is 250 and you say, hey, I'll buy them all for 220 right now, more than likely they'll say yes. But not only that, if you then keep buying off of them, then they'll keep selling it to you. So you get this flow of sales. And I actually have a couple people that I know where they do that. They'll actually go ahead and scalp and then they'll say, hey, Sam, I've got this available. You know, I love getting restocks. Oh, man, I love it. But at the end of the day, if I want to get like 50, 60, 70, 151 booster bundles, I can't do that from getting restocks online. Maybe I'll get a couple online, sure, but I'm not going to get 100 online. Like, so I guess at a certain point, we kind of have to just buy it off scalpers. And then my suggestion is that you build relationships with these people because they would be happy to sell for less if that means that they get a quick, easy sale. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to switch up my investing strategy whenever it comes to future releases. But yeah, that's going to do it for today's video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm very excited to discuss with you guys in the comments because I feel like we're going to have some pretty good conversations. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one.